ever wondered why mindset doesn't stick? You've read all the books, you're listening to the podcast, you're meditating and journaling your heart out, but something still keeps pulling you back into stress, self-doubt, and self-sabotage. Here are 25 reasons to say a big, fat, soul-level yes to the Positive Intelligence program. Are you ready for them? Why positive intelligence? Because personal growth most often focuses just on the symptoms: stress, burnout, anxiety, conflict, and never quite gets to the source of those symptoms. Positive intelligence is different. It targets the root cause. It goes to the source, your internal saboteurs, your mind, and how it's messing with you. So why positive intelligence? Let's get to those 25 reasons one by one. Reason number one: only 20% of lasting behavior change comes from inside. The other 80% comes from building mental muscle. Just like going into the gym and doing a workout, if you were to read a book on a gym workout, how strong do you think your muscles will be at the end of reading that book? Well, maybe just your fingers from turning the pages. But with gymming, you are going to go and work out every day. Is working out once a week enough? Once a month enough? Is working out once a year enough? Absolutely not. You need to do it every day, or at least every other day, to really start to get a benefit. And when it comes to building your mental muscle, at the beginning, we recommend daily focused action. And with positive intelligence, you actually get daily focus exercises that you can do every day because it's based on an app on your phone. So on the app, you will get those daily focus exercises as well as a gym where you can do PQ reps. We're going to get into PQ reps in a minute. So reason number two: it is clinically proven to rewire your brain. So MRI scans have shown that participants in the program light up new neural pathways. It's neuroscience in action. And we're going to talk about more of that in a minute too. Reason number three: it transforms your relationships. So positive intelligence helps you identify your patterns of reactivity, how often you react rather than respond in a situation, and shift into compassion, presence, and clarity. So you show up as your highest self with your partner, kids, friends, clients, and colleagues, everybody in your life, all your loved ones, all the people you have to deal with every day, even those difficult people. Oh, by the way, I've got a video on the difficult people. Reason number four: it improves your performance. You'll stop spinning your wheels, trying to hustle harder, and instead you'll start taking the kind of calm, focused, aligned action that actually moves the needle. Number five: it boosts your well-being. So your stress levels are going to drop when you do positive intelligence. When we get into those PQ reps, you'll see why. Your sleep improves, your joy increases, your body and mind begin to relax into ease as your saboteurs lose their grip. Have you noticed that on each of these reasons I'm giving you, there's about 5 reasons within the reasons? So stress levels drop is one, sleep improves is another, joy increases is another, your body and mind begin to relax into ease, saboteurs losing their grip. That's actually 5 reasons in the reason it boosts your well-being. Here is reason number 6, technically, or at least reason number 6 on the list. Positive intelligence builds EQ, emotional intelligence. PQ builds EQ. If you're a coach, healer, leader, teacher, or even a parent or partner, scratch that. Let's tell it like it is. If you're human, this one's a game changer. In the original positive intelligence research they did, the PQ Foundation program was found to boost the root level building blocks that automatically enable 17 of the 18 EQ competence. Participants in the research program reported improvements in their emotional self-awareness, accurate self-assessment, self-confidence, emotional self-control, transparency, adaptability, achievement, initiative, optimism, developing others, inspirational leadership, change catalyst, influence, conflict management, teamwork and collaboration, empathy, and service orientation. Those are the 17 EQ competencies that PQ was shown to help grow. And the 18th one is called organizational awareness. And it was the only EQ competency that didn't show a significant improvement after 8 weeks of PQ. So reason number 6 is actually 17 reasons to do the positive intelligence program. You're going to build your EQ. How complicated is it, though, to build all of those things? You could go and do an entire program on building emotional self-awareness. You could do an entire program on building your self-confidence. There are many programs out there on that. But PQ does it all by going to the root cause, by rewiring the brain. That's what makes it so different to any other program on the market. Reason number 7, you'll learn how you are self-sabotaging right now, every day in your life, and how to stop, how to weaken what PQ calls your saboteurs or saboteurs, however you want to pronounce it. You'll meet those voices in your head that have been driving your behavior and learn exactly how to interrupt them with powerful, practical tools. So here are all of the 10 saboteurs. See if you can see yourself in any of these. So I could kind of say this is 10 reasons, but you're going to have 1, 2, or 3 of these that are your main ones. So we'll call these 3 reasons within the 7th reason of why you should do the positive intelligence program. So listen to these 10 saboteurs and their descriptions, and I will leave you a link to do the positive intelligence assessment. So do the assessment and then tell me what your saboteurs are in the comments, or you can just take a guess. That'll be fun. Here's number 1. I'm just going in alphabetical order just to simplify it. It's not saying that any are better or worse than any other ones. We all have these saboteurs. We all have a different hierarchy of these saboteurs. My top ones, just so you know, are the pleaser and the hyperachiever. Okay, so here we go. Avoider is the first one on the list because it starts with an A. The avoider, as you can guess, avoids difficult tasks, also conflict, choosing short-term comfort over long-term success. The number 2 saboteur is controller, because that comes next in the alphabetical order. The controller needs to take charge and control people or situations to feel safe and achieve results. The hyperachiever bases their self-worth on constant performance and achievement, often at the cost of relationships and self-care. The hyper-rational, number 4, focuses on logic and analyzes to an extreme, often disconnecting from emotions and relationships. Number 5, hyper-vigilant. They feel intense, continuous anxiety and suspicion about all the dangers, everything that could go wrong. And they're so busy focusing on what could go wrong. When something does go wrong, they're exhausted. Number 6, the judge, the master saboteur, constantly criticizes themselves, others, or circumstances, robbing them of joy and peace. Now, remember that the harsher your judge is of yourself, the more harsh you are of others and circumstances as well. Number 7 is the pleaser, and they gain acceptance and affection by helping while losing sight of their own needs. Then you get the restless saboteur, number 8. who is constantly seeking excitement, avoiding discomfort or emotional depth. On to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. Number 9, we know this one so well. Many people have this. It's probably one of the most common ones, the stickler. The stickler strives for perfection, order, and organization, and that can create anxiety and frustration, and it does. The victim saboteur is number 10. Rounding it off at very low down the alphabet is the victim. The victim uses emotional expression and suffering to gain attention or affection, often feeling misunderstood. So those were all of the saboteurs, and that was reason number 7 to join the Positive Intelligence Program. You are going to get to know thyself. Who was it who said, know thyself is the most important thing? You're going to get to know these things. And can I just say on the get-go that these saboteurs start off as positives. They start off as your positive traits, your greatest strengths, and they only become saboteurs when you overuse and abuse them. Okay, so they're not necessarily bad, which brings us to the sage perspective, number 8. The sage perspective is, who knows what is good and what is bad? If you start to see the world as there's a gift and opportunity in everything, that means even the bad is good. So when you gain the sage perspective in positive intelligence, you're going to start asking the question, what's the gift and opportunity here? And that one question, just that one question, can completely transform your experience of life. Reason number 9, the program is structured but gentle. So the daily app delivers focus exercises that take about 15 minutes in total in your day. I know that might even sound like a lot to you if you're really busy and hyperachieving and doing all the things. It might sound very much to you if you're an avoider too. It might sound a lot to you if you're a stickler, maybe even if you're a controller. But it's broken up into 2 to 3 minute time slots 3 times a day. So what do 3 times a day? You probably go to the loo 3 times a day, at least. And you're probably there for 2 to 3 minutes at a time. So do those focus exercises on your app. Most people these days take their phone into the loo with them. Do them while you're on the loo, and they're done for the day. Reason number 10, it helps you return to yourself. That calm, wise, deeply joyful version of you, she's not gone. She's actually right there, just waiting for the noise to quiet down so she can rise. And when we get to our PQ reps, you'll see how that happens. Number 11, it helps you quiet your inner critic, that constant voice whispering, not good enough, too much. You'll finally learn how to turn down the volume and turn up your own inner wisdom. Reason number 12 for doing the PQ program, you'll uncover the real reason that you're overgiving, over-delivering, and becoming overwhelmed. No more surface level fixes. PQ gets to the root of people pleasing and burnout. The saboteurs running the show behind the scenes. Number 13, you'll discover and develop the sage within you. This isn't just mindset work. It's a return to your essence, to your calm, creative, wise, and joyful sage. The you beneath the stress and the striving. You'll learn how to develop the 5 sage powers of empathize, explore, innovate, navigate, and activate. These help you counter the power of your saboteurs. Over time, your saboteurs start to weaken as your fears and your negative thoughts subside, and your positive sage powers grow. This helps you enjoy a more balanced, productive, and fulfilling life, improving wellness, performance, and relationships. Here's a summary of how each sage power helps you handle life's challenges with ease, joy, and flow. Let's look at the empathize power first. This power involves understanding and sharing the feelings of others, showing empathy and compassion towards yourself and others, creating a sense of connection and support. You become more self-loving as well as more loving of others. And they go hand in hand. The more self-loving you become, the more capacity you have to love others. Number two is the explore sage power. So this involves approaching situations with curiosity and an open mind. It encourages seeing the world through a lens of wonder and possibility, which can lead to innovative solutions and a clear understanding of circumstances. Number three is the innovate sage power. This power focuses on creativity and thinking outside the box. It encourages brainstorming and generating new ideas, allowing you to reframe problems and discover novel solutions. We have had such fun in our programs using the innovate power. There's a little game that you play, the yes and game, and it really does generate some incredibly fun ideas, and that can create incredible shifts with all of my clients. And we all pitch in and help each other in our group coaching sessions, and it's fantastic. The navigate power is number four. This involves aligning your actions with deeper values and purpose. It helps in making decisions that are not only effective, but also meaningful and fulfilling, ensuring that you stay true to your core principles. And then you have lucky number five, sage power, the activate power. This power is about taking decisive action with a positive and forward-thinking mindset. It involves turning insights and ideas into reality through proactive steps and sustained effort. Now, let me just tell you that when I first came to the positive intelligence work, I'm just dropping in a little story here for you. That was probably the power that I really needed to develop the most. I was pretty cool on the other powers, but activate was the one I needed most because I was very locked into the law of attraction. And I was doing lots of law of attraction work, but law of attraction in many senses misses the point. It forgets that in the word attraction, there is the word action. Action is the last two syllables of the word attraction. True action. And most people who are teaching law of attraction, including me back in the day, are talking about attracting things. And the fact is, you can't attract things without taking action. Maybe there are some people who can sit on a mountaintop and just call it in just with their mind power. It does start with the mind, yes, but once you get the mind right, you start taking the right actions. And that's what people are missing in the law of attraction and what I was missing. So positive intelligence helped me to start taking positive, laser-focused action in my business every day. And that is what moved the needle for me. And I went from being this woo-woo, manifesting, like, let's just meditate and say our affirmations and it's all going to happen. It's not to say I don't believe in those. Changing the mind is the first step, but there are steps that follow that. And you can be as in the zone as you want to be mentally, but if you're not taking the positive action, the laser focused action, you ain't going to get anywhere. You have to follow those inner nudges and move forward. So that was a huge, huge mind shift for me. That's not how they taught it in positive intelligence. Really just rewiring the brain for me is, I think, what did it. And maybe getting that sage perspective. There were certain things in the program that helped me. There was productivity sessions, and yeah, I got it. the penny dropped, and it will drop for you as well. Maybe just getting this insight was enough for you to come to this video today. Anyway, reason number 14 to do the program is it's backed by neuroscience, and yet it's also soul aligned, which does suit my fluffy, hey shua being. The science is solid, the shifts are sustainable, and the journey is deeply spiritual and self-loving. Although you wouldn't hear that from Shazad Shamin, the founder of Positive Intelligence, but you've heard it from me. It is based in love. It is based in that empathy circuitry. And what can be more spiritual than love? Number 15, you're going to build mental fitness, not just feel good fluff. It's not just about reading a book here. Yes, you can read the book. Here's the book. You can read the book, Positive Intelligence. Of course, there is the book. You can read the book. It's not going to do the work for you. It's not a quick fix. It's not just a quick read. It is a practice. It's a daily practice, and it is practical with tools you'll use for life to respond rather than react to situations. And as one client puts it, she says, it's a pragmatic approach. It's real. Positive intelligence is the real deal. It is science-backed. Number 16, it's tailored for people pleasers and hyperachievers. Well, I'm saying that because you're coming to my blog, and I blog a lot about people pleasers and hyperachievers because that's who I am. So it's quite likely you could be one of those two. And I want to say to you, this program gets you. You'll feel seen, understood, and finally free to create change from the inside out. But I don't want to exclude any of the others of you out there, the avoiders, the sticklers, the controllers, the hyper-rationals, the hyper-analyticals, the hyper-vigilants. Have I left anybody out? I don't want to leave anybody off that list. It's there for all of you. Oh, the victims. Oh my goodness, how could I leave out the victims? They're going to feel like a victim if I do that? No, they are on the list, of course. This program is tailored for everybody who comes here. And then, of course, there is something called the master saboteur, which is the judge. Yeah, it's for you too, the judges. And by the way, that's all of us. That's all of us. We're all got the judge. We are all judging ourselves, circumstances, and each other all the time, even if we keep it inside because we're a pleaser. Number 17, you'll stop outsourcing your self-worth. No more waiting for applause or approval. Positive intelligence helps you feel enough just as you are, as you develop your empathy circuitry in the brain. See, I told you I was going to bring that out. Number 18, you'll feel less stressed and more at peace. Imagine having access to your inner calm, no matter what's going on outside of you, or even inside of you for that matter. Imagine if you could just go zen. That's the PQ shift. It all starts with PQ reps, which are in the PQ gym, in the PQ app on your phone. So PQ reps are the foundation of mental fitness. PQ reps are similar to mindfulness exercises, except they are generally shorter in duration. Each PQ rep is just 10 seconds long, not 10 minutes, 10 seconds long. And usually you do about 2 minutes of PQ repping, and that'll be long enough to calm your mind considerably and move you into your sage brain. PQ reps could be described as 2-minute meditations you can do in your day-to-day life. Anywhere, anytime. I have done these in a meeting with people. I have done these in the shower. I have done these while driving. I have done PQ reps while in the middle of an argument. I have done them absolutely everywhere. And all you're going to do is simply focus on one sensation at a time. So say now it's in the middle of an argument or a discussion with somebody. You're going to, let's say you're going to look into their eyes and just notice all of the colors around their iris or their pupil, or you're going to notice their eyelashes, Or maybe you're going to look at their ears. That could be a little weird. You're looking at their ears. But maybe if they've got like really interesting ears, you could zero in on that. Or maybe you're going to just listen for the furthest sound away that you can hear. Or listen for the closest sound that you can hear. Or maybe you're going to put your hands on your heart and feel, detect the sound of your heartbeat. Notice how just those brief seconds brought you into presence, brought you into calm, brought you into a different part of your brain. Now imagine doing that 2 or 3 times a day for 2 to 3 minutes at a time. And imagine how much calmer you will start to feel. There is a compound effect that happens by doing PQ reps. And that is the beauty of this program. That is not all the program is by any stretch of the imagination. There is so much more to the PQ program than just PQ reps. But I can tell you those are the foundation, and those are what rewire your brain. We always do them, well, almost always, sometimes we forget, in our group sessions when we meet every week on Zoom. They're amazing, and they immediately help us calm down, feel more present, feel safe, feel more loving, and more receptive. And that really also helps you get into that laser focused action. Just like when you go and do gym, and taking that time to go and do gym makes you get more done, makes you more productive. It's the same thing with doing mental gym, with building your mental muscle. When you take time away from those ruminating thoughts that are going on in your head all day, and you take the time to do PQ reps, things shift much faster, and you can also be more productive. Number 19, you'll improve every relationship in your life. When you start fixing and pleasing and start listening and leading from love, everything changes and all your relationships change. So when you're doing a PQ rep in the middle of an argument, I can tell you when I tried it, I just dropped into this other mind and I responded completely differently. I didn't react. I didn't shoot back with the first thing that came to mind. I didn't get a million thoughts and feelings going on that got me all tied up and knot and twisted and got me just instead I just got really calm. And the PQ rep I was doing then was just touching my fingertips and feeling all the tactile sensations. People don't even notice when you're doing that. People don't even notice what you're doing with your hands while you're talking to them. And it can just bring you into presence, just like that. Okay, number 20, you become more whole-brained. Not bird-brained, not half-brained, but whole-brained. So after just 6 to 8 weeks in the program, MRI scans have shown increased gray matter in the prefrontal cortex, which is home of empathy, focus, and calm, and also a little bit in the right brain, and decreased activity in the limbic system, where the fear, anger, and anxiety reside. So there is actually change happening in the brain. The mental muscle of the brain is shifting. The gray matter is changing. Oh, and the left brain, there's decreased activity in the left brain, or decreased gray matter in the left brain. So you become more whole-brained, more creative, more focused. You can get into the zone easier. You're not just learning, you're reshaping and rewiring your brain. That is what makes this crucially different. That is the crucial difference between positive intelligence and any other program out there. That's how you build your EQ. That's how you weaken your saboteurs. And that's how you increase your 5 sage powers of empathize, explore, navigate, innovate, and activate. Number 22, you'll become more emotionally resilient. In a world that keeps throwing curveballs, 91% of participants say they manage stress better. 85% report having greater happiness, and 83% experience improved self-confidence. And number 23, you'll navigate conflict with compassion, not chaos. With 97% of participants reporting improved empathy. We've talked about empathy a few times, so you'll note that's a big focus in the program. And 84% saying they manage conflict better. PQ equips you to approach challenges with clarity, calm, and compassion, even when emotions run high. I explained that. You heard my little story. I've used it for that, and I've become more clear, calm, and collected, compassionate in general since doing the program. Number 24, you're going to get a full spectrum upgrade, body, mind, and spirit, from stronger relationships to better sleep, clearer focus, and deeper joy. Positive intelligence doesn't just improve one area of your life, it elevates them all. This is holistic healing through neuroscience, mindfulness, and the heart. And number 25, just in case you needed another reason to join this program, you're going to become part of a loving community. When you join the Positive Intelligence program with me as your guide, you'll also be joining a part of amazing fellow participants who are doing the program with you. All the pods are a little bit different because it depends when you start the program, and then eventually you join the bigger pod if you decide to move from foundation into the longer year-long PQ mastery mastermind with me. And then there's also the greater community of positive intelligence that you can connect with via the app. The important thing is, in our community, there's no judgment. This is a total no judgment zone. There's no pressure, just women supporting women on the path back to themselves. That's when we're talking about my pods. It's not to say that I haven't had men in my program. I've had 2 men so far take the program with me, and they were wonderful to have within the program. Mostly, though, I work with women over 40, and mostly I find they are people pleasers and hyperachievers like me, and they might have different hierarchy of the rest of the saboteurs, but pleasers and hyperachievers are somewhere in their top 3. Having said that, I can work with absolutely anybody. Of course, I'm not going to turn you away if you go and do that assessment and you find that you have a different main saboteur than what I have. If you feel that you still resonate with me and want to work with me, come and work with me. Otherwise, I can find you someone in the PQ program, another coach who has your top saboteur as their top saboteur, and maybe you'll feel more comfortable with that. Totally up to you. Research proves you are 500% more likely to succeed in our program when you have support. So I highly recommend that you take the program, not just for the app. Everything is on the app. You could just do the program on the app. All of the focus exercises are there. All of the videos are there. They are delivered by Shazad Shamin, who is the founder of the program. But I have found that because we do our weekly group Zoom sessions, it helps you have not just accountability partners, but vulnerability partners as well. And because you're able to be vulnerable amongst that group of people that you've joined the program with, and you all get to know each other, it really creates an amazing dynamic. And I can 100% see why you're 500% more likely to continue in the program when you have support. This is a beautiful program, but I'm not saying that it's necessarily easy. To keep on track when your saboteurs are really revving up, because that's what happens. Like you buy a red car and now suddenly you see red cars everywhere in the street. The minute you start to identify your saboteurs, it's like they're everywhere. Suddenly you're seeing what a strong judge you have. Suddenly you're seeing what a strong victim you have, or controller, or whatever it is. And that can be a little bit hair-raising. It's a little bit like going and doing shadow work. And yeah, you do need support. Somebody to hold your hand, take you through that process, and not just one somebody, but many somebodies within the pod is even more helpful. I found that in every PQ coach I've led, I haven't been the only coach in the weekly meetings. We have all coached each other. I found all the participants in the program jump in, they help each other, they support each other, and they coach each other as well. And sometimes the benefit you get from just hearing somebody else's story, when you hear someone else explain their story to you, it really lands in a different way, and you start to get aha moments for yourself just from listening to them and how they work through something, especially because people are at different levels in the program. Once you get into PQ applications, which is the follow-on program, and you get to meet the people who've been around for a while in the program, you'll really get to see how much they've learned and how they coach themselves each week, and then come back and explain what they learned about themselves during the week by coaching themselves using the PQ tools. It's amazing. So just in case you don't have enough reasons yet, there is a bonus reason. There is one very important bonus reason for you to join the Positive Intelligence program today, or this week, or this month. And that is because you're ready, because you're ready to reclaim your joy, because you're ready to reconnect with what lights you up, because you're ready to receive as much as you give. If that's a yes in your heart, then trust it. There is a reason this program is so transformational. It's not about doing more necessarily. You're actually going to stop thinking. You're going to go into the no thought mind. And you're probably going to do less, but the things you're going to do are going to be more focused. And it's about becoming more of who you really are. It's about getting to know thyself. If you've got the same patterns cycling around in your head, in your life, if you've got those ruminating thoughts that you just can't get rid of, it's because you've been trying to change the thoughts, but not the source of those thoughts. We need to get to the source. We need to get to the core of what's going on. So positive intelligence helps you go deeper. It rewires your brain at the root, transforming how you relate to yourself, others, and life itself. So why positive intelligence? Because your joy, your peace, and your purpose are not on the other side of more striving. They're already within you. Beneath the noise, the fears, the self-doubt, the overgiving, the avoiding, let's reclaim your light and joy together. Come and join me in the program. Come and join us in the program. And read the post if that was too much of a mouthful in one video. Thanks very much for your time. I appreciate you.